What's up, YouTube? You're watching the first Epic Luko reviews. Today we're going to be talking about Marvel's newest big huge holy shit blockbuster, Guardians of the Galaxy. Now I should let you guys know, I know absolutely nothing about the Guardians of the Galaxy. I never read the comics, I never knew anything about the characters, I didn't even know their names at all. I've never heard of them up until this movie was announced. And I was only convinced by the trailer that I kind of wanted to see this because I saw the talking raccoon and the talking tree, and I don't know, it kind of threw me off a little bit. But then more and more trailers came out, and then I started to hear Bradley Cooper was involved in this, Vin Diesel was in this, Chris Pratt. Even Michael Rooker was going to be in this movie, which I thought was really, really cool. So me and my friend Josh went to go see it the other day, and holy crap, did we love the shit out of this movie. This was such a fun movie. It had such palpable characters, such great action, and it was funny. Like, gut-bustingly funny. Definitely Marvel's funniest movie. Like, I think it's even funnier than the Avengers. And I was laughing almost the whole way throughout that movie. It had such comedic timing, such great characters, such great situations. I loved every second of this movie. So I should talk about the plot of this movie. Basically, it surrounds 5 different characters. Star-Lord, played by Chris Pratt. Gamora, played by Zoe Saldanha. Drax the Destroyer, played by David Bautista, Rocket Raccoon, played by Bradley Cooper, and Groot, played by Vin Diesel. And they all come together to try and defeat this big bad villain named Ronan. And basically, this is our movie. They call themselves the Guardians of the Galaxy. So we are off in this awesome space opera to fight big huge bad guys with guns and awesome explosions and guns and guns and guns. It was cool. So I should talk about the characters. Chris Pratt as Star-Lord is fantastic. I loved this guy. He was funny. He was cool. He had a great backstory. You really felt for him. He had a very emotional connection with all the other characters and the audience as well. You could really feel for his character in a lot of the moments in this movie. Zoe Saldanha as Gamora is also fantastic. I love how we're seeing more and more awesome, badass women in movies. It's so great. We first got Emily Blunt in Edge of Tomorrow. I forget her name in that movie, but the Full Metal Bitch. She was fucking awesome in that movie. And I think that movie has spawned, like, we're going to be getting a lot more badass female leads in movies. And that makes me so happy. Gamora is just another one of those. And she is equally as badass. Now, Bautista as Drax, I was a little worried on because usually wrestlers don't make the transition to acting very well. I mean, I think you could argue that The Rock was okay. I mean, he had a couple of decent movies. Like, he just had the new Hercules movie that apparently people are kind of mixed on, but have the majority of people liking it, I guess. But aside from that, Bautista was great as Drax. He had a great emotional backstory. He, I think, had the best comedic timing out of all of the characters in this movie. He had a very funny subplot that I won't spoil. You have to watch the movie to see. It's very funny. But yeah, he had a very emotional backstory. He was kick-ass. He was big and buff and cool looking. He has great makeup. Like, I couldn't even tell that it was Bautista. It looked fantastic. And then you have Groot, and he's the talking tree that I was talking about before. All he can say is, "I am Groot." That's all he says in the movie. And he's hilarious. When you mix in the fact that that's all he says, and just like the situations that he gets himself into, it just makes it seem all the more funnier. And Vin Diesel does a great job, even though that's all he says, at just voicing him. And like he's even badass himself. Like there are some points in this movie where he is really doing some awesome shit. And finally, we get to talk about Rocket Raccoon. Now, he was the other part of this movie that I was very concerned about. You know, a talking raccoon in a movie. Yeah, that's totally gonna well. I was thinking he was gonna be like another Jar Jar Binks kind of character. And, holy crap, was I proven wrong. He is so badass. He is so funny. Bradley Cooper does an amazing job at voicing him. The visual effects look real. Like, I could not even tell it was CGI. It looked like a freaking real raccoon holding a gun. How can I say that with a straight face? It looked amazing. Like, it looks real. How do you make that look so real? I don't know, but James Gunn did it. I should also talk about the action. The action is so cool in this movie. It's like a mixture of the Avengers combined with all the great space operas. So like Star Trek and Serenity and Star Wars and like all these big Firefly and all of those just all smashed into one. And it's so cool. As I said before, the comedy is so freaking good in this movie. James Gunn found the perfect amount of action, comedy, drama, and it all just mixed together to make this awesomely fun movie. Awesomely is not a word, is it? I don't care, that's how you sum up this movie. Now, I didn't mention one thing, and that was Ronan the Accuser, who is the big villain of this movie. Now, I was going to compare him to Loki, and I probably should, because Loki had the perfect combination of humor and commanding a scene. He was very intimidating, but he was also funny. So I was expecting in this movie with all these really funny characters that Ronan would kind of have that same feel to him. But instead he's kind of just a generic villain. He he doesn't really do that much in the movie. I mean, he's intimidating. I'll give him that. But for this type of movie, I kind of wanted something a little more comedic. I understand that he's supposed to be like this really big criminal who's like going out to destroy the galaxy, and I know that's a big thing, but it didn't really feel like a prominent threat in this movie. So I wasn't too big a fan of Ronan in this movie. He was intimidating, but I wanted him to be a little more funnier, kind of to contrast with the Guardians a little more. But to sum it up, Guardians of the Galaxy is one of the funnest movies I've seen this year. It's definitely a movie you guys should check out. Marvel fan or not, it's great. It's so fun for anyone who loves sci-fi, action, comedy, talking raccoons. This is the movie for you. I'm going to give this movie 4.5 out of 5 stars. I can't give it 5 stars completely because of that villain, but I don't know. Other than that, it's still a really fun movie. I implore you guys to check it out before it goes out of theaters, which I really don't think it's going to do. So, I don't know. Go see it. It deserves your money. Don't go see Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Please, don't do it. You're giving Michael Bay your penis, you know. So who's your favorite Marvel character, guys? Mine is Deadpool. I love him. He's the freaking best. Anyways, leave it down in the comments below. Discuss it among yourselves. And that's about it for this video. Thank you guys for watching. Click the subscribe button to see more videos that I've done. And I'll see you